what's going on YouTube? It's Dub Tender here, and I'm here to respect your time. Today, we're going over graves. I wanted to make this because I was trying to learn graves myself, and a lot of the guides I found were already outdated because of the March changes. So this is for anybody who wants to understand graves fast and actually start playing. Graves is basically a pressure control here. You win by stacking summons, debuffs, and pathing pressure until the enemy has too much going on to deal with all of it. And the reason some of the older guides feel weird now is because old Graves work differently. She used to be able to max her 3 and have her basic attack hit 2 targets. That's gone. And older guides also taught Jar of Dead as the upgrade path that made your summons apply Essence Theft. Now that comes from maxing your 3 instead. So with that out of the way, here's how she works. First, Essence Theft, her third ability. This one is passive, but it matters a lot. It steals gun damage and spirit resist from enemies, which makes them weaker and makes you stronger. And once you max it, your skulls and summons can apply it too. That's a huge part of why current Graves feels so good when all of her pressure starts stacking together. Now that makes sense, Jar of Dead makes way more sense too. Jar of Dead has 2 parts. The passive is that Graves collects death from nearby enemies that die. Then the active is that you throw the jar and summon skulls that deal spirit damage to nearby enemies. Those skulls will focus whoever Graves is attacking, so if nobody is nearby, they'll chill or follow Graves until they find a target. The big thing with jar is don't just toss it out because it's available. Throw it when a fight is already happening, when something is getting pressured, or when you know you're actually about to commit. And when you do throw a jar on somebody, keep shooting at that same target if you can. You're lowering their spirit resist with Essence Theft, which makes that jar pressure hit harder. And once your 3 is maxed, your skulls start helping with that too. If a teammate gets dove by a frontliner, a jar can do a ton of work there as well. I'll also sometimes throw a jar on myself before I go in, just so I know the skulls are coming with me. You can really make some awesome plays like that. Her second ability is Grasping Hands. This puts a wall of hands at the target location, and after a short delay, it snares enemies. The big thing here is prediction. Don't throw it where they are, throw it where they're about to go. Use it to cut off escapes, lock down choke points, and make movement awkward for people. Then there's Borrowed Decree, her ultimate. This summons a gravestone that spawns ghouls every 5 seconds. The ghouls explode on contact with enemies, and once Essence Theft is maxed, they can apply that too. This ability is great for pushing and defending, but where people mess it up is treating it like a fire and forget lane button. Don't make your ghouls do your chores. Use it where you actually want pressure. Use it to create chaos in a fight, pressure an objective, or make space while your team moves up. And remember, the gravestone takes 2 heavy melees to destroy. So if you want a safer tombstone, hide it. If you want a more aggressive one, place it with your team and be ready to defend it. You can parry somebody's heavy attack and just absolutely punish them for this. Now for lane. Your goals are pretty simple. Clear waves, collect deaths, charge the jar, and look for pressure windows. That's really it. Graves is not a hero I autopilot. You want to play with intention. If someone is already fighting, diving your teammate, or trying to get out through a choke point, that's where jar starts to feel really good. Not when somebody's just standing there farming and completely ready for it. Grasping Hands becomes your, nah, you're staying here button. A lot of people panic around it, jump too late, or take a bad path. That gives your skulls way more room to work. Borrowed Decree can definitely help you defend or pressure lane too. Just don't treat it like a side quest button. If you take one thing from this lane section, it's this. Build resources and play with intention. Punish people that overstep. If they're already occupied, Graves is nasty. A few things people tend to struggle with on Graves. First, jar feels way worse if you throw it into someone who's fully ready for it. If they see it and they're ready to react, they just kill all the skulls and they move on. Second, Grasping Hands is a lot better than you think. If you throw it too late, people are already gone and it really doesn't matter at all that you use it. You just uncle in. And third, Borrowed Decree gets way more value when you place it somewhere in the fight that people actually care about it. If you just throw it somewhere random and leave, yeah, maybe it does a little bit, pushes a little farm, but you're giving up on one of your biggest pressure tools. And if older Graves guides feel confusing, that's not just you. They were just built around a different version of the hero. So, for leveling order with Graves, here's what I usually go for. I max Essence Theft first, then Jar of Dead, then Borrowed Decree, and finally, Grasping Hands. That's not the only way I do it either. It depends on my situation. Speaking of situation, let's talk about builds. Builds with Graves, also very flexible. And I'm still learning as well. One of the biggest things I'd say is go and use the build browser. It's if you open up the shop in the top right up here and find a build that you like under public builds. Any of the builds from Deathy are always really good, and a lot of them I've noticed have annotations, and that can be super clutch. The other big thing is that Graves usually feels best once the game opens up a little. When people start grouping, fighting over objectives, and creating more chaos on screen, Graves gets way better. The more split attention your enemies have, the more value you get from Jar and Borrowed Decree if you place them well. She can absolutely win 1v1s too, especially if you're ahead. But in general, Graves feels best when fights get messy and people can't keep up with everything you're throwing at them. If you only remember 3 things from this guide, remember these. Number 1, use the jar when there's already pressure. Number 2, use your wall to control where people are going next. Rule number 3, place Borrowed Decree where the fight will actually care about it. That's Graves, folks. Thank you for watching. And if you like this, please leave a like. This is the first time I've done a full-length script and edited video, so I know that I have a lot to improve on, but I would appreciate a comment on the specifics of what you think I could improve on. Thank you so much, guys. Peace.